Department. I'll be your MC this afternoon. It is my great honor to welcome you to the session Indonesia-Thailand Cross-Border Payment Linkage, Insights and Live Demonstrations. Ladies and gentlemen, Bank Indonesia and the Bank of Thailand have launched the cross-border QR payment linkage in August this year. We are proud of our 76 payment system providers from both countries which have joined the project. Now users from Indonesia and Thailand can use their mobile payment applications to scan Thai QR codes and QRIS or CRIS, which stand for Quick Response Code Indonesian Standard, to pay for goods and services at the merchant. Before we get to know the insights of the project, allow me to introduce two ladies who have been key advocates of the project. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on the stage Ms. Philiningsi Hendata, Assistant Governor, Head of Payment System Policy Department, Bank Indonesia. Assistant Governor Philiningsi, or we can call her AG Philly in short, has led the transformation of the payment system industry through the implementation of the Indonesia Payment System Blueprint 2025. She has also initiated the expansion of 12 million CRIS merchants and CRIS cross-border payments. Next, I would like to call upon Ms. Siritida Panamwanna Ayuthaya, Assistant Governor, Payment System Policy and Technology Group, Bank of Thailand, onto the stage. Assistant Governor Siritida has had over 25 years of experience in banking supervision, both as a supervisor and a policymaker. During her assignment as an Assistant Governor on Payment System Policy and Financial Group, she was involved in driving the National e-Payment Project, which includes Prompt Pay and the implementation of FinTech ecosystem. I will join the two Assistant Governors so we will have insights, discussion on the payment project between Indonesia and Thailand. But before we start our topic, as this year Indonesia is takes the role of G20 presidency, I would like to request AG Philly to provide some information to us about the G20. AG Philly, as this year, G20, as a G20 presidency, Indonesia highlighted digital payment and cross-border payments. So why did Indonesia take that as the priority agenda, and what are the modalities and challenges?
Okay, thank you. Can I call you Meow?
Yes,
yeah,
sure.
Okay, Meow. Okay, first of all, Sawadika. And first of all, allow me on behalf of Bank Indonesia to thank BOT, particularly to AG Siritida for inviting Bank Indonesia to join the very prestigious event, the BOT Digital Finance Conference, and also to have a chance to share with all of you about the QR code digital, the payment linkage. So once again, thank you for the opportunity, and we also hope from Bank Indonesia you will have a very successful event of the Digital Finance Conference and have an optimal result for all of us, particularly for all us in the region, Asian, because next year Indonesia will be chair for the Asia. Regarding the G20, we know everybody know to strengthen the interconnectivity, interoperability of the digital payment, especially for the cross-border payment, enable the economic and also the financial activity can be conducted more efficiently. And during the Saudi Arabia G20 presidency in 2020, has already endorsed, the G20 has already endorsed the roadmap to enhancing the cross-border. And at least they have like two big objectives for the roadmap of the cross-border. First, to overcome the challenges of the cross-border payment. And second, they also have the guidance or the guideline for the G20 countries or other countries also. So they can be a guidance for all of us to develop further about the cross-border payment, interconnectivity, on also interoperability of the payment system. And in Indonesia, for the Indonesia as a G20 presidency in 2022, we also aim, at least we have three aims for why we choose the digital payment as one of the priority agenda. First, we want to continue the legacy of the presidency before. And then the second, we want to optimize the momentum and also the commitment of the G20 member, since they have already committed to enhance the cross-border payment. And of course, the third one, we want to elevate the high height of the cross-border payment. And this is what we have. And right now, we know like in 2021, 2022, we have already established at least the fundamental things of the cross-border. And we try to pivot from the, the analysis and then the stock taking among the G20 countries, and also we try to have the piloting project. Now it's time for us to do the implementation, to move on, not only to do the analysis, stock taking. And maybe the Asian region can, move first, So that's why in G20 presidency, we take the cross-border payment as one of our priority agenda.
Thank you, AG Philly. That was very informative. We wish Indonesia a successful G20 presidency.
Thank you.
Now, let's move on our topic, Thailand-Indonesia cross-border payment linkage. Ladies and gentlemen, we developed QR payment linkage with Indonesia in 2020 under the stewardship of Bank Indonesia and the Bank of Thailand. Now I would like to discuss central bank's role in facilitating industries from both countries to participate in the development of QR payment linkage. Could you share the journey of collaboration as well the considerations and challenges, both from the technical and business perspectives? Could we start with AG Philly?
Okay, thank you. First of all, I also want to share and thank to BOT, BOT is our guru in QR. I remember at that time with AG Siritida when we have a bilateral meeting in Jakarta, and then BOT share about the QR. That's 2 years ago, right? QR, about the QR, and then we are interested in, and we start to develop the QR together, and we learned a lot from BOT. And right now, we can see the result, the very optimum, and the QR give a very good result in Indonesia, the economic. Later on, I will share with you. But for the journey, at least we have a 5 step. Maybe Chiritida can add later on. The first one, as a central bank, we are the initiator. It starts with, if I remember here, we have a bilateral cooperation, and then we ask the industry. First step, we have as an initiation phase, we ask the industry to have the working group. Working group consists of 2 working group, the technical and also the business working group, right? And then the second, we go to the phase of development. After we have the initiation, and then we go to the development here, we have a 2 stream there. The technical stream, we are talking about here development interconnection, development of application. And in the business stream, we are talking about determine the pricing scheme, legal document, business operation, and settlement arrangement. The settlement arrangement is very important. We are talking about the local currency settlement. This is very important because we don't need to do with the exchange rate problem with the US dollar, but we can do the settlement directly under the local currency. If you go, I've tried the QR, I'm very happy. Yesterday and today, it's very happy. I try in the hawker stall, I try in the mall. So from the micro merchant, and then go to the middle, and then go to the large merchant, they accept QR. So this is very good. And we hope that we can expand about the usage of the QR. And then the third phase is about testing. Testing is also important because through the testing we can see what is the the problem, so we can solve it together. We can have a discussion, conduct end-to-end testing. And the fourth is the piloting. We have already conducted 1 year piloting. But the result, we can, right now, we can see the result after 1 year because some people said, oh, it's too long, 1 year. Can you just, my governor right now, okay, with Thailand, it's 1 year. How about with other country? Can you do it like a 6 months? And then can you do it like the 4 months, So piloting is very important, testing and piloting. And last phase is implementation. We just do the full-fledged implementation last August. So hopefully the dissemination to the public and then something like this, the campaign can also increase the usage of the CRISP.
Thank you, AG Philly, for sharing insights on this. How about AG Sirichida?
Yes.
Could you please share your view
Actually,
on
that
this?
AG Philly cover almost everything, but I would like to add some point.
The student, this is the student, have to explain. The
Yeah,
teacher
yeah.
later on,
You pass already.
Yeah, you pass the exam, right? Yeah.
Yes. Actually, that there are like two working group that we work together, both businesses and also that are the technical. And the other group that I think that is also important is about the regulation, legal work stream. Because, two countries, we have different regulation, and both of our service provider have to comply with the regulation also. So the other working group is also important that we try to harmonize our regulation, especially in the future if we have like a remittance services. The AML is also the important issue that we have to discuss. I think that this is the first thing that I would like to add more. And the other thing is that it's about the adoption. that we want to see the widely adoption for our user, how to, persuade them to use the QR code and also to use the digital payment. This is one of the challenges that we have to cover. And the other thing is that how to persuade that the industry to join the services, because some of them they are ready to join, but some of them they are not. How to persuade them to join, and the more that they join the services, the more the benefit that a customer will get.
Thank you very much for sharing your experience. Previously, AG Philly just mentioned about Chris, and we learned that Bank Indonesia launched Chris in 2019. How was Chris contributed in expediting Indonesia's digital economy? Could you highlight some of the benefit it has brought to SMEs, payment service providers, operators, as well as general public?
Thank you. I have to report to my teacher here that
we are a partner.
the implementation is really great. Yeah, during the COVID pandemic has already shifted the consumer behavior, not only consumer but also the merchant behavior, and we believe that this is a blessing in disguise with the COVID. So the digital payment program is really fast adopted by the people, the merchant, the industry, and even by the government here. And I share with you the data of the CRIS. In September 2022, CRIS has already, the transaction value has amounted to 9.6 trillion rupiah. This is equivalent to 23 billion baht, or grew by 354% year on year. Amazingly, 354%. And in terms of the transaction, in terms of volume, has reached 92 million transaction, or it's grew by 184% year on year. And CRIS has been adopted throughout 34 provinces in Indonesia and 480 regencies or cities in Indonesia. And in terms of the number, we have the very huge merchant and also the user. If last year we tried to prepare from the supply side, so we have targeted, we have a 12 million merchant of the CRIS. So we try to prepare the supply from the supply side. But this year, 2022, we try to prepare from the demand side. So we targeted 15 million new user. So if you see my iPad, I always bring this as one of the campaign, so the audience can see what is the sticker there. And this is the target. And right now we have already achieved, in September we have already achieved 13.6 million user. So that's why my governor allowed me to come here, because 1.5 million to go before end of this year. So
I guess that next year you're gonna come also.
Right. And then that's why, for the merchant, right now we have a 22 million merchant using the QR. And from the 22 million, 90% is the SME. So this is very suitable for the SME. But right now, we have already increased the limit of the transaction, because we are also aiming not the micro and small enterprises, but we are aiming the middle and also the big merchant throughout the mall. So we have targeted the usage of the CRIS not only in the traditional market, but also in the mall. So the target is the, like AG Siritida, this is our target for the crease. So that's why I have to increase the limit of the crease. Otherwise, AG cannot use it, because too low, right? And then right now, in total, the user of the crease has already achieved 25 million user in Indonesia. And we hope maybe next year, our target is not the user or the merchant, but the transaction. So my governor asked about the new target, how to achieve a certain amount of the transaction in terms of the nominal. And if you asking about the benefit, certainly give a lot of benefit here, because QR is not only the game changer, but also the entry point for the SME. The SME, how the SME know about, because some people said that digitalization, if you are talking about digital payment, is not belong to the low-income society, but this is for the middle and high. But I believe not in Indonesia, not in the Thailand. Digital payment is belong also to the low-income society, because they know, they start to know digitalization through the payment system. And Chris, QR is the entry point for that, because we ask them to onboarding for the QR, and then later on, they have to open the account, either a bank account or the non-bank account, and after that, they do the transaction through the digitalization, and after that, don't forget, they can have the financing, because the transaction in Indonesia, we capture all the transaction of the SMSE using the CRIS, and we will use it to create the credit profile for them. And they can use, with the customer consent, they can use the credit profile to ask the financing either from the bank or from the non-bank. So this is very helpful for them, because we know the SME, they don't have enough collateral to get the financing. And if they get the financing, maybe it's not really sustainable for them. But with the transaction, everything is captured there. And for the public, of course, I bet here, this is the future of the payment system. I saw a lot of millennial here, but if you see the wallet, maybe the wallet not more than 20, 30 baht, yeah? Because they don't need the cash. All the cash on the gadget. But for us, baby boomer, and for AG Siritida, maybe if like our wallet is only 20, 30, we are not, it's make us to rush to the ATM and try to withdraw the money even though we don't use it. But it's just for the comfort, for comfort us, But the problem is right now is different. For Meow, maybe no need to withdraw the money. Yeah. So that's why the merchant has to prepare for that. This is the future. And they by using the CRIS, by using the QR, they can attract the new user, the new buyer, So of course, it also not only increase the transaction, but also the profitability. And for the government, when we have the data, the government can use the data of the SME, the transaction, to prepare the policy and to also increase in Indonesia, the municipal government, they use CRIS to increase the revenue for the distribution, for the paying tax, so they use it. So this is the benefit that we have, and also is very suitable during the COVID or after COVID. This is hygienic, and this is, you don't need to prepare the small change. You don't need to have a contact for that. So a lot of benefit on that.
Thank you, AG Philly, for sharing information about CRIS. the adoption rate in Indonesia is very impressive. I think you have put like lots of effort until you get this high adoption rate. We get to know about the domestic payment of Indonesia. Now, let me ask the question because the connectivity with Thailand is Indonesia's first cross-border payment linkage. AG Philly, would you share the acceptance and the perception of Indonesian after we launched the cross-border payment between our countries?
Yeah. I have a data here, but I also want to invite all of you to come to Indonesia to buy the Indonesian good. Yeah, actually, like the team of BOT will come, right? You will come, right? So prepare your QR, fill with the enough money on that. You don't need to bring your US dollar or the baht. Just bring your gadget with the full amount. And here in September, even though it's still limited, it's only 22,000 baht in value and also 115 transaction in volume. But this is the inbound transaction. This is the transaction from the inbound. It's mean like the Thai people who use the QR in Indonesia. So it's very small, but it's okay. Hopefully after the campaign, this can increase. But on the other hand, in Indonesia outbound, because a lot of Indonesian go to Thailand, visit Platinum, Chatuchak, and then another things, yeah. So we see here the positive development. The total value is around 1.8 million baht, and it's also increased maybe 1.1 after we do the transaction yesterday and today, right? And then the total volume is around 2,200 transaction. 2,205 transaction, including our transaction. Yeah, and we believe that the cross-border will further improve along the expansion of the payment services provider because you add 3 more, right? 3 more or 5 more. And also in Indonesia, we have we'll add more provider, and also the massive campaign, and also the relaxation of the mobility restriction across Asian. Hopefully, it will increase the transaction.
So, what about next country? Do you have any plan?
Yeah, right now for the QR code. Payment linkage, we have a piloting stage with the Malaysia, and we have intensive discussion with Singapore, and another some of the country has already tried to approach us, and once again thanks to the Thailand has already 6 partner, right? Yeah, maybe we can beat later on. The student should work harder.
Yeah, yes. I believe that the transaction will growing very fast under your supervised AG, and I think that in the future we will have more collaboration about the cross-border payment linkage.
Yeah.
Yeah, we look forward to the next stage of collaboration between Thailand and Indonesia. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the final part of our discussion. We will give the audience a treat by inviting the 2 assistant governors to demonstrate how the cross-border payment linkage between the 2 countries works. First, Assistant Governor Siritida will scan Chris to buy the product that are imported by our colleagues from Bank Indonesia. And yes, this is the Chris, the QR code that AG Siritida will scan to pay. Could you please hold this? And then, yeah. Very easy when you travel to Indonesia. You don't have to carry lots of money, like no more. Just use your mobile phone application to scan. Put the amount, and then, after this, AG Siritida will show you how it looks like. Yeah, she put the amount, and then success, and the money goes to the merchant's account. This is the product from Indonesia. It's so cute.
This is the SME of Bank Indonesia. This is the tumbler, Spirit Indonesia, with the crafting Indonesia simply harmony. And then you buy two, right? Yeah. And this is now the one Indonesia Mandalika. This is one of the priority tourism destination of Indonesia. Thank you.
Thank you. And now, it's time for Assistant Governor Philly to purchase product from the Bank of Thailand Learning Center.
Buy three, right? The student have to buy three. The teacher buy two. 100-an. Hah? 290 berarti 600. 670. Oh, 5. Is there a discount? No.
Yes, 5.
You can put more.
570, okay. This is a direct exchange rate. You don't need, if you scan, this is a pin. If you scan, I scan in Thai baht 570, and then it's appear that the exchange rate is 414, and in rupiah, and it will directly deduct my rupiah account in Indonesia. So I don't need to go to the foreign exchange anymore.
And it is a good rate also, right? Compatible rate. Yeah. So I think that you're going to get a high score, the highest score.
Yes, it's successful. Yeah, that's very nice. Now, this is a product you just purchased from online. Yeah, and this is the souvenir from the Bank of Thailand Learning Center here.
It's a bag that you can put money, digital payment, mobile phone. Digital product.
Yeah, that suits you a lot.
And 3 of them.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. Now may I invite the working teams of the cross-border payment project between Indonesia and Thailand onto the stage, so we will have a group photo.
Yeah. Actually, I would like to thank our team and also the BI team for their hard working, and I think that we're going to have the close collaboration later on.